Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys have had a great time since I've seen you last. I'm sorting kind of a different bucket today. I thought I would switch it up and see what I can get sorted from this big one. It's mostly, like, originally it was mostly these gray colors, but also I'm hoping I can sort through it and then have it for, like, the big plate pieces. But I think it has, or at least it started when I first started throwing stuff in it. It was mostly bigger pieces, but it looks like it's not a collection of pieces. So we shall see what we wind up with. Nope, that's not circle piece. Got a lot of these bigger pieces on my desk, which makes it interesting space-wise. That's definitely in the vehicle box. A frame for a motorcycle. I guess I can put that with those for now because they don't the same. Bin of those. There's another bridge type. Well, that's vehicle 2. I don't know why I put that separately, but tweezers. There they are. Oh, dang it. I'm not sure this will work. I thought it was the opposite direction. I could get my tweezer in behind it, like in the... Oop, I got it anyway. Fantastic. Fine, follow. Okay, there's that. Some of those. We are going to do start on the Tranquil Garden today. I've had it, I don't know, not that long. But I'm at the point where all the sets I currently have I really want to do, so I had to just pick one. That's a card piece too, for sure. I have a bin for kind of like just weird pieces that I don't really know where to put. So I guess we'll put that one in there. And I have one for like doors and windows and things like that. Well, I guess let's start putting stuff in because I've kind of run out of room.
Hi, I'm Danny Phantom.
Welcome in, Danny. Let's see. Yeehaw! Danny Phantoms is your go-to Texan for all things pop culture. Sorry, I felt like I was going to burp. From Star Wars to Marvel, they're chatting about the latest in movies and TV, like Bad Batch and Dune. No safe broadcast, but this Neighbors live talks are a family-friendly hoedown you won't want to miss. It's like the Chinese Tranquil Garden. It's got like a koi pond and all kinds of stuff. It could turn out to be tranquil. My house is usually just chaos, no matter what, though, so. Okay, I know I set down one of you somewhere. The question is, where did that somewhere turn out to be? I do this. I sort, and then I miss where I put things in the sort. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to come back to it, because I know I did it. But, I want you. Okay. Some of you. This one I was going to put here too. It kind of clicks the same way. This one goes in there, and there's one of you too. Yeah, right there. I will, of course, show you the box in just a minute. Come on, pieces. Don't fall on the floor. have you been since I last chatted with you? Welcome in Fantasy. I hope your first day of school is going well. Are you in lunch? Okay, I did put these in too. I assume you're in lunch. I think your lunch is now. Woo. Okay, none of you little pieces. This one maybe? No, that's not the weird one. I'm gonna put those in there. I had a shelfie one. There it is. Too many people. Well, I mean, especially since you basically try not to interact with anybody all summer long. I think you only got together with friends twice. So it's going to seem like a ton of people because you actively avoid people. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just, then it's going to seem extra when you get into the people-ies. Have you got to look at, like, kind of the lunch cafeteria setup? And what kind of, you know, lunch lines they have? Is that an option? Did your art teacher say that was an option to eat in the art room? I know, that's what you did like all of last year. You would take lunch and eat in the art room, but I didn't know if maybe you wanted to get food. Can you get food in the cafeteria and take it back to her room? Or would you have to pack your lunch? Because it looked like some of those choices on the menu were pretty good. Oh, the floor got 2 Legos. I need like one of those little claw things that picks up the Legos for me when I drop them, so it's out so I don't have to lean down. And now I just bunked my head on my computer. Ugh. A wild magpie appears. Catch it using Pokey Catch. As if there was another way to catch it. Pokey Catch. Okay. Doors. Windows. Things of that nature. Oh. You go somewhere else, and I know where it is now. Car pieces. Not you guys. This whole grouping. Okay, just put those kind of. And it's peanut free though, and I have peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so not in the art room today. Ah, that's right. Yes, she said on her thing it's peanut free. I mean, the made goods should be good. That's why we switched to them because things had to be peanut free. So you should be good on that front, like your snack bars. Sorry, something's not. There we go. Something wasn't sitting quite right. Rude. That's 2 Pokemon I've missed so far today. Okay, I think I found the one I was trying to find before. And I know this one goes in here too somewhere. This goes in there, and I missed these two right next to it. Ah, and there's the bucket like that. Hiding in the art room. I mean, the school has over 2,000 students in 3 grades. There's gonna be a lot of people. And I know you're averse to people, but you know, they're there. You. One of you. Well, I got the ham out to thaw. So you will have that as an option tomorrow if you don't want whatever lunch they're serving in the lunchroom. Okay, this bucket is full. I gotta like swap it out with a different one. Okay, let me see if there's a thing in here I can swap. Not that drawer. We'll do it with this bucket. Because I only have a couple of those. But I have a ton of these bigger blocks. Oh, you joking me. Toad. Oh, that's why. I was like, why won't it go back? Well, because I have the drawer open. There we go. That's better for those, because I find those a lot. Come on, go back in. Okay. One of you. So I'm gonna need to switch those out too. The bearded dragon. And I mean, you can ask, maybe your biology teacher knows what club that was holding the bearded dragon in the photo. Like, even if she's not in charge of that club, she may know what club it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, she may not be in charge of the club, but maybe she knows which club it is. You know, not perfect, but it may give you an idea about who's doing it, like who's in charge, stuff like that. I'm gonna switch out these soon, but also I think I'm shoving a lot of different types in this drawer. May not actually be opposite. Let's go in there. Yeah, I do have. Sorry if I keep hitting my mic. I'm not trying to, but I guess it's the way I'm sitting. Has me at the right spot to just keep bumping my mic. I swore I had these flats in a drawer. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But that got some of that sorted. A lot of the bigger pieces out. Okay, so I will attempt to show you guys this box as well as I can. It's the Tranquil Garden. So, it's supposed to be 12.5 inches long and 8 inches tall. And it looks like that. $13.63 on pieces. No tape, just the knuckle push opening. Of course, now that I found my X-Acto knife and I can open the boxes easier, they're like, no, only knuckles. We don't need anything like that. Hopefully, no stickers, because, you know. Let's see if it tells me how many bags. Looks like 11 bags, so maybe 6 and 5? I don't know. Depends on how full the bags are. But this gives me an idea for organizing what bag number, you know, is the stocking bag. It's 5, 10, 4. Okay, so 11, 10. There we go. 7, 8, 9. There's that. 2. Ooh, a mystery, well, not mystery bag, but you know, an unnumbered bag with just plates in it. There's bag 1, bag 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I did find all the bags. Kitty has got a severe case of a zoomies. And she has been running all over the place lately. So this is our, you know, I want to say mystery bag, but unnumbered bag with plates and such. And then this is our bag 1. And it doesn't look like it has a ton of pieces in it. So we shall see. Snickety snackety time. I have some Reese's and some Kit Kats. Which would you prefer? And of course, another brick separator. And Kit Kat, okay. Dungeons are still going for 2 more days. So like Thursday 1 o'clock they'll end. But I don't want to start a dungeon right now because I don't know how far we're in and I don't want us to lose that. So I'm just gonna do an easy campaign. And if you would like to join in, that's great. If not, that is also great. And don't forget you can use Q. I don't know if it works on the phone, but you can use Q to remind you of your quests. I need Berserker or Necromancer. But I went and changed a bunch of my skins, so now I can't remember who's who. Berserker. Let's put him right there. And then we'll do this with a thanks for helping out. And then back to that. Okay, so you said Kit Kat. Come here. And I'll do the hydrate after I eat it. We have a little teapot, some whisks, some cups for interesting pieces. And we have some like fencing, and then probably gonna be like a cauldron typey thing. Okay. Let me mogate my mouse back a little bit. I have one of those little things on the desk that helps keep the cord organized, but you can't just shove it back through because then it's like too full, you know? Okay. Let's see where we start. like I said, this one's about 1,325 pieces, give or take, you know, a little bit. Says you can like tend and change the layout of your garden as like a zen thing. So bags 1 and 2 build like this house part, then 3 through 9 build the base and the bottom of the house, maybe, I don't know. Then 10 and 11 are like the trees and such. So like I said, 1 and 2 is like the little house part. So that's what we're gonna start with. Let's see, 3, 6. Okay, looks like a 12. 3, 6, 3, 6. Sorry. Okay, no more on that. Then we want 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Danny got second. Did somebody get first? Oh, Steel got first. I missed that. And Fantasy got third. Evie! Welcome in, Steel. How are you doing today? I hope your weekend went well. Am I right? Doing this right? 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay. I got like 40 books at the book signing. But some of them have 2 books in it. One of them has 4 books in it. So technically more stories than books. It was a fun time. It was the first one I've gone to where I didn't know like 95% of the authors. Like I only knew just a couple. So it was fun getting to meet new ones and learn about, you know, what kind of books they write. And I got lots of swag. Yeah, one has like 21 stories in it, in fairness. It's an anthology for all the donations from it go to supporting puppers. Yeah, so it has like 21 stories. Listen, I keep missing these Pokemon, and even if I do try to get them, it says, nope, sorry. Rigged. The one table I bought a book from, after I bought it, she was like, what size shirt do you wear? And then she gave me a t-shirt. So I even got a t-shirt that goes with the one series. Yeah, each short story novella in that anthology has a pupper in the story. Sorry, I keep feeling like there's something underneath my nail. It's driving me crazy. I got a couple what they call blind date with a book. Essentially, they just put like a little something about the book, and it's wrapped up in kind of like wrapping paper or whatever the author chooses. And then it's a blind date with the book. Like, you don't really know what book you're getting. And they all had them marked in some way so that if you bought one of those, but you also bought like a specific book from them, they could be like, okay, do you want to choose a different blind date with a book or a different book? Because that's what like that's what's inside what you're trying to buy now. Which was nice so you didn't accidentally buy duplicates, which is good because who wants, you know what I mean? It would kind of suck. Your brothers had like homeroom and then 2 classes back to back, and then he's got another class later. But Thursday is crazy. He's got like back to back to back, which he's not really used to. Last year he didn't really have that. But it's also the beginning of the year versus when he went near the end. And he's taking some high school classes, so things will be different. They're different every year, even when you go to regular public school. Nope. I was like, did I do something wrong? But no. Yeah, school is loud. Definitely. Did your art teacher say that bucket was okay? Or that you needed a different one? She didn't say anything about it? Okay. I didn't know if she kind of wanted you guys to show her what you got, first to make sure it was correct. But if she didn't say anything, we will leave it as it is. I like these kind of fencing. They came in the Chinese New Year poly bag too. So we kind of have our base. Tomorrow there's supposed to be an update for Dreamlight Valley that is supposed to bring like Tiana and Steamboat Willie and things like that. Combine those. Corners on the corner, of course. Have you liked your classes so far? At least the teacher. I know they probably didn't have you do much of anything, but you at least get a feel for what they're going to be doing in that class. have been quiet. Well, that's good that the classes themselves are quiet. Lunchrooms are always super loud because everybody's, especially in the beginning, everybody's excited to be back, so they want to talk to their friends. And like I said, in general, lunchrooms are just loud. But it's good that your classes themselves have been quiet. Looks like 6x4, 6x4. Okay. Oops. I just got this out and was like, okay, that's number 1. But that's not the whole all the pieces for that stuff. I guess maybe I should have looked for some kind of Tranquil Garden soundtrack. I was like, I don't see any white bead dots because they're supposed to be clear. So 2 clear ones stacked on top of each other inside the pot. Then we need this one, this and this.
We have always lurked among you.
Okay. Have a good rest of the day. I will be there in the pickup lane somewhere. Two bowls. We're making like the tea area. I hope this is the right bead. It looks black in there, but here it almost looks dark blue. But we'll just go with that being the right one. Frosty even told you to enjoy your math time. Frosty gets a little too good sometimes, I think. Oh, like chai tea because you need the whisk. This is kind of cool. Or matcha, you need the whisk. And then of course you have your tea there. And then we take this and we put it right there. That's really neat. I really like that. And that was it for bag 1. Like I said, it didn't look like there was really a ton in each bag. So, we shall see where we get. Give a quick check on Streamwaiter, see how it's doing. Catacane is maybe not in chat, but it does look like she found Streamwaiters. So this bag looks like it has a little more, or at least bigger pieces. Okay. 6 and a flat 4. I think we're building like the top part of that room now. Okay, yeah. Want to make sure it was the same brown. So I've been trying to set up stuff, or at least get organized somewhat in my head about stuff for the affiliate anniversary coming up next month, and just a couple weeks, really. And it's going to be on a Friday, which is not a normal stream day for me, but it will be like an all-day stream, which kind of works because Crazy doesn't work on Fridays, so he will be home to help, still get things done. But I was wondering if I should get, I don't know, different things for like redeems or little like special redeems for just joining the affiliate person. So I'm kind of make it fun. But I will be building Sanctum Sanctorium from start to finish, or at least that's the plan. Come on. I guess we will see, But it's just over 2,000 pieces, so I really don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility to do in one stream. It'd just be a very long stream. But I have them in the right direction if I want to connect them and put them on the right end. Pay no attention to me, because I'm clearly not paying attention to the directions. Let's do that one, and we're having breakfast for dinner today, because it's simple. And that's what I feel like. And today is the first stream getting back into like my during the school year schedule, but also mainly because we don't know what kind of extracurriculars she might be doing or what days they'll be and things like that. So we're just gonna go till 2:30, and then I can get in the pickup lane. A wild hoot hoot. Pokey catch. I don't know if it's like what? Oh, Demon 8 event spawn. Okay. It's a special. I was like, I don't know what that symbol. But I guess it's because they're having a special Pokey event. Okay. And then essentially a million windows. My fingers are gonna hurt. White windows instead of clear windows. Well, I guess that makes sense because some buildings have like that rice. I always think of it as kind of like rice papery stuff in the frames. So I guess 6 windows on the 3 sides, because you're gonna have a doorway side. That one's always different. Okay, this one looks all kinds of crooked, but putting these windows in will help straighten that out. Try to grab up. There's some. Not all, but some. Doot. Ugh. Rigged on the pokies.
game is rigged.
Maybe I should change it so it isn't rigged like that, but when it says escaped, it says rigged. I don't know. Then nobody would have to type it in, it would just automatically. Don't forget, I have the redeem for choosing the next build. It is for the ones I currently have, but I have been known to take suggestions and then buy that kit. So. I hate doing a bunch of windows all at the same time. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. There are literally only a little bit of pieces left in that bucket, so I'm just going to, dump them out right here. Okay, we need 3 of these and 4 of these. So 2 and 2, 3, 4, and 3. Corners on corners, and that'll also help even out. I can look at everything then and make sure it's evened up, not a little out of order. Did anybody do anything fun this weekend? And fun can be whatever fun means to you. If you slept all weekend, that's great too, as long as that's what you consider fun. Something you wanted to do. Okay, I'm gonna set that like that. We got 10 by 4. Yep. And then there's only one this size, so that helps narrow that down. Is going to be like the roof. $16 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then basically all around the side. And flippy flippy. And just like that. 16 of these. Welcome in, Beer Bear. How have you been doing? How was your weekend? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know my schedule's a bit wonky right now. I didn't stream Sunday, and then I've gone back to my during the school year schedule, which is a little earlier, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me, so that's what I gotta roll with. At least until Fantasy figures out like what clubs and after school activities, whatnot, and then maybe we can adjust it from there. But for right now, this is where we're at. Did you see the new feature where they're supposed to be making it easier to do collabs? When I logged into, well, not logged in, but when I went to the thing to change my stream title and stuff, I saw it. It popped up right away. Flippy flippy again? Right now, this is pretty much the same all the way around, so I don't have to hold it like a certain way. Yeah, like, you can just, like, knock while somebody's alive, essentially, and ask, hey, do you want to join streams? Like, you can add favorites, too, and change who's allowed to do it. Like, it can be set to, like, I think just friends, teammates, or followers. Like, you could have all 3 clicked with permissions, or just change it to, like, people you have on your favorites list. And I want to say the other one was teammates, but I'm not, like, 100% positive that that's what it said. Okay. Let's do our couple units, see how we do. Let's see, I will put, I guess, Stronghold. Three allies, 9 enemies. That isn't horrible. Captain TV came out with a new game as well. But it's not a game like this where you play like with your followers or whatever you want to call it. It's slightly different. Let's try this side. They're still doing dungeons till about like 1 o'clock Thursday my time, 12 o'clock Thursday my time, which is central. But I didn't put us in one today because I didn't want us to lose where we were. You know what I mean? Like, till we got people in and playing. So, okay. Like I said, this is pretty much all the same. So I don't think it matters how I attach this per se. But yeah, that knock knock feature, I looked at it a little bit, and I set some people as like my favorites, but that was about it. Oh, apparently I missed some. I stuck that on there and I miss. Well, yeah, I have to. No, it's this that I have to take off. I'll figure it out. There we go. This, then this. Who needs an unbuild redeem when I mess up enough by myself? Yeah, I saw it and I was like, I wonder how that like really works. You know, because you have to have like a scene set up and stuff like that, so or I like how it migrates the two. I don't know. So this is our building so far. I'm liking this little whoop. Okay, so they want this piece. And essentially this piece on top of this piece. And on the center, and then one, what I consider ice cream swirl. And then on top like that. Oh, and then we have our first little factoid. It says, the Tranquil Garden pavilions are made from wood and blend into the natural surroundings. We are in ads now. This to go right there like that. That's our extra piece. Only one extra piece. Oh, dang it. I know what I did. The bowls and the pot in there have just like loose Lego. It's not attached to anything. It just sits in the bowl and the little cauldron thing. So if you tip it really at all, it just all falls out. Then you have to take it apart and put it back in. So, doing our best to not tip it too far. That's what the inside looks like. And then the top, and you have the white walls, and you have this nice fencing. A Raichu. Why not? Let's see. Pokey catch. My catch rate today is 0 out of like 3 or 4. So, and we have our extra bag of pieces, which we're gonna open now. Says we need, what's that, 6 by, let's say 12. Yeah. Need 2 of those. And 2 of these and 2 of these, so like basically the whole bag. We will set these off to the side though. That way, I don't want to put them in a bucket and have them take up a ton of room. So, well, I guess what I can do is put them in this bucket, like that. Oh, I didn't read what it said about Beer Bear. BB-8 is a dedicated dad and doggo owner who's all about active lifestyles, even with diabetes and hearing challenges. They've been crushing it in Zwift, whether it's rowing, cycling, or walking. Recently tackled a grueling 67-mile gravel ride. Talk about endurance. Seriously, Beer Bear, you're crazy. When they're not on the ergata or bike, they're keeping it chill with some low aero workouts. Get out of the bag. we are really just kind of plowing through these bags, but there's not very many pieces in them. So. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, now we're building like the bottom tray part, kind of. Okay, that's 8, so the one is slightly wider. How is your Dungeons and Dragons set coming along? That one is definitely on my list to get. And then a big square. And I should have 6 dots left, 6 dots left. I bet it's massive. I know they tell you the size on the box, you know, like 15 by 8, but it's for me, I don't know if it's for anybody else. For me, it's hard to visualize like what that is. Like, okay, it's a foot by half a foot tall, but I can't like visualize how big that really is. And then I get to building and I'm like, holy crap. It's gonna happen when I do Doctor Strange's house, like the Sanctum Sanctorium. Like, I know how big the other modulars are, and I think it's a little bit bigger than the other modules. Just like a smidgen, not too terribly much. But as I'm building it, it'll still be like, how big is this freaking thing? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like crazy. I'll be like, yeah, I in general kind of know how big it should be, but it's still gonna seem gigantic, like, as I'm doing it. Like I said, even though they tell you the size, like, my brain does not compute that into, like, what it's actually going to look like. And I don't know if anybody else has the problem or not, but it gets me, like, almost every time. I'll be like, yeah, I know how big that is. And then I start to build, and I'm like, no, I don't actually know what that's like. Oh, are we doing, emotes, Danny? Have we come to the emote portion? Yeah, I know, even looking at the picture, you can tell that it's going to be way taller. But like I said, in person, it's still, like, dramatically different. Like, something about your brain, or at least my brain, is like, why did we not think it was going to be that tall? No, we're not at the emote portion. Oh, so what are you doing? Because that's the sneaky Danny. If you were a grocery store, what color would I be? I would probably be closed, because I don't like people. I don't know. I've always wanted one of those Victorian houses, you know? They have a lot of them in New Orleans, but, like, all black. Like those creepy, like, Morticia Addams houses. I don't know. I'd probably have a darker color. Is this supposed to say something about my personality or something based on what color I would be as a grocery store? Honestly, I don't know what I'd even sell as a grocery store. That sounds like a good one. I'd probably be one of those, like, kind of gothic grocery stores where you could come buy your potion ingredients. I mean, it's still groceries, right? Sorry, I gotta make sure I'm not building out of frame. Let me move this a little bit, so I don't get myself out of frame. I'm still kind of out of frame. Okay, let's do this. There we go. I'll get there eventually. Okay, this here. I mean, you can still consider that groceries. I mean, they're ingredients. Are you getting ready for your next bike ride, Beer Bear? I know you said there was one you wanted to check out, which was less incline, and I want to say slightly shorter than the other one you just did. But I don't remember like how much time between them. Decided not to. Okay. I know there was talk of it, but you know, talk does not always lead to doing because of life. And that is okay. 2 in that direction and 2 in the opposite direction. Right. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta pick and choose, and that's okay because that's life. I'm sure we would all love to be able to do everything we'd like to do, but, you know, life. That's coming up soon, right? Your trip to the beach. Yeah, I thought it was just a couple weeks away. You know, give or take a little bit. I hope you have a fantastic time. Let's see. Okay, one this way, and one of this way. Oh, I'm sure they'll have a ton of fun. There's like this weird, like for my kids, there was this like weird age where they hated sand, but in fairness, they didn't like dirt or grass either. Um, and then sand became okay. Like it's still not their favorite, but they're not like refusing to walk on it. Yeah, when Fantasy was like really little, like baby-ish learning to walk and stuff, you would go to put her on the grass, like you'd be holding her, and you'd be like, "Okay, it's time to get down." And you'd go to set her in the grass, and she'd like bring her feet like all the way up past her head, like and refusing to touch it. And if you sat her in it, she would get like freaked out. And the first time Boy Wonder saw sand, like ocean beach sand, um, because they hadn't been in a sandbox or anything because sandboxes are disgusting in parks. That's where animals go potty. He was on the blanket and he was so excited and he started to crawl off the blanket and he put like one hand in the sand and then a second hand in the sand and he was like, "What do I do?" And he like freaked out. He was like, "Nope, back on the blanket." But my kids are weird, like generally weird. But the beach is fun. Now that they're older, it doesn't bother them the same way. Oh, just get 2 going the opposite direction. Oops. I'll grab them now. I think, yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, like they had issues with like textures of all kinds. I think we even have a video of Fantasy crying because she was in the snow. Like, to make snow angels. She was like, "No thanks. No thanks." But they've definitely gotten better as they've gotten older. It's not quite as crazy. Like I say, he was quite young when we went to the beach. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3. um, Crazy had a class in Mississippi there at the base in Mississippi, and it's right there, basically near the ocean. So we went with, and we stayed at fam camp in our camper. It's like the military campgrounds they have on each base or near each base, and I would take them out and stuff while he was at class, and we went to the beach as a family, and he was not having it. He was like, "No, thank you, sir. I don't like this sand business." And each kid is totally different. Some kids like love it. You know, some kids don't even want to take a bath because they're scared of the water, and the next kid, like, you can't get them out of the water. So it's very much not, you know what I mean? Like, just because one kid hates it does not mean another one will. Like I said, my kids were just weird. They also didn't like to be messy when they ate. Yeah. Like I say, I mean, it's not like you said, sometimes it changes. Like, it's the initial, and then they get used to it, or they get a little older, and they're like, "This is fantastic." Boy Wonder loves the water. He's always loved like pools and the bathtub and all kinds of stuff like that. Kinchu, all the way around. A wild berserker? That could be so wrong. Let me try to catch it. I have not been doing good today, though. Pokey, catch the strike. Great ball. Great ball. It's Fantasy's first day of school, so I'm trying to keep up just like him last week. With like if they message me or whatever. She was in here for a teeny bit earlier, but she's in like during lunch, because apparently the Arkansas state governor or something like that passed a law over the summer that a teacher can lose their license if a student is caught with their phone in class. Like, I get the whole, as a general rule, you should not have your phone in class. You know, they have like little shoe carrier type things. Everybody puts their phone in, or some like wooden pocket thing, you know? But now, like, the teachers can get in trouble. So, like, in art class, they can't have their phone and headphones on listening to music while they do their art. It's a whole thing. Ooh, I caught it. Finally, something. Like, I agree they should not have their phones out during class, but I think that may be taking it a step too far. Like, what if you ask the kid, "Hey, do you have, make sure you put your phone away," and they go, "I don't have a phone," or "I don't bring my phone to school," and then they're caught with the phone, the teacher can get in trouble. It's a little like punishing the librarian because of the libraries that the books that the library has. You know, like, I agree they shouldn't have their phones, but that seems like then a step further. You know what I mean? Like crossing some kind of like metaphorical line. Like, how can you punish them for something they can't even always control? And with the way teachers are getting, I mean, I haven't heard any in Arkansas where like the kids have attacked the teacher, but nonetheless, it's happening places. So you want to like take it a step further. Like, what are they supposed to do? Search them for a phone? Like, what do they do? her biology teacher was like, I'm not gonna, like, if you tell me you don't have a phone, you don't have a phone. But don't let me catch you with it because I'm not getting in trouble for you. You know, kind of a deal. I don't know. I have to research exactly what it entails before I can really like comment truly on it. I've just been worried. I had the book signing this weekend, and then getting them ready for really like the first week of school. So I haven't got a chance to really look it up, but it sounds crazy. Like, it's hard to like make sure these are all. I really gotta like. I need to get a little hammer like Mr. Harrell has. Ting 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 ting. So, according to several articles I read, tomorrow is supposed to be a new, or like an update to Dreamlight Valley. So I'm guessing a new star path, but they're supposed to introduce Tiana, which I thought they would introduce her kind of like Mulan, with the star path. So there's supposed to be a update that is going to add Tiana to the valley, and she's gonna have a restaurant of her own and a food stand. Like a ready meal food stand, and I believe as part of the because there's a Rift in Time, which is the expansion to the main game. They're supposed to be adding, I believe, Steamboat Willie in that kind of section of the game. And if I understood the article correctly, which is hit or miss, there was talk about they were either fixing or making it easier to do the multiplayer part of the game. And I want to say like making a closet of sorts where you could like save outfits with a name and then just pick that name and it would, or that thing, and it would like change your outfit to that. You wouldn't have to change piece by piece. But so there is that update. About 5 minutes left on Stream Raiders. And last week there was an update to Cult of the Lamb. To make it multiplayer. So you would do quests with the person, and I think there's new buildings. Boy Wonder played it. He was very excited. He keeps asking me to play, but it has been a busy time. Okay, yes, empty. That second bag, or the one I just opened, was all just these kind of translucent blue pieces. The first bag, or the second bag, first small bag, was also a bunch of the translucent pieces, except, let's see if I can get them to show right. They have little koi painted on them. Trying to make sure I keep like this whole thing in frame here for you guys. So I have it set to do about half the set today and half the set Thursday. If we have time left, which I have a feeling we will, because there's not very many pieces in each bag. And we are trucking along at a decent clip. We can do Diamond Dots or Dreamlight Valley. Depends, how much time we have left. But either way. This should... as I throw it across the thing. There we go. Well, when we went to her school last Thursday for open house, we got to talk to all her teachers and kind of help her plan out a plan of attack. For how to get from building to building and find her classrooms and stuff. There's a good chance she'll still probably get turned around during the day, but hopefully maybe not as much or as bad. It's a big school, so... Yes. Beto. Welcome in, Crazy. That's alright, I forgot you said there was an exercise today. A lot of stuff to keep organized in my brain. Remember things. Hopefully things aren't going too badly and you're not realizing that you got some crazy funky hole in your plans. Let me get that switched and this. And I have it over here. Let's do Killing Fields. See, 7 to 11. So more players, but I think they do too. I want to say it had 9 last time, not 11. We have more people, that's all that matters. It's not like crazy unbalanced. I'm trying to remember the name of the new game Captain TV came out with. Look at Bear, 7 kills. Doing a fantastic job. Ooh. How dare he try to kill our little barbarian frog guy. That's what he looks like to me, a frog. It may be totally off on what it is. Woohoo! Bear, do you have a preference? Rogue Scrolls or money? Trying to get back on this early morning schedule. I'll give you this. I'll give the scroll skeleton and I'll give you money. Okay. We want to do the mystery. Okay, I have a ton of meat, whatever you use to replenish your characters. So I'm gonna use that because there wasn't really much needed anyway. And thanks for helping. And we will collect that quest, see what it gives us. Oh, just money. I mean, money's good, don't get me wrong. It's a daily, so necromancers is the other thing we want. Okay, there's that. Now, this step. Okay, let's see. We're here. We want this. Then this. That there. A wild carnivine. Let's try to catch it. Pokey, catch, great ball. Now where did these two go? Looks like above here. And I know it's early, but I'm a planner. I like to plan things and be prepared. And occasionally we do like spontaneousness, but mostly I like to plan and be prepared. So we've already started talking about like Thanksgiving. And last year was like our first Thanksgiving with family in several years because of living, further away. But this year we decided that we're gonna go visit friends for Thanksgiving. Oh, look at how they did these directions for this part, because you're doing all these kind of like tiles. So they did like a straight top down, so you could see exactly where each tile goes and count the dots, which is pretty neat. So that's comparison. This is what the book looks like, and this is what we're building looks like. So you can count each dot. I like that. There's literally a ton. I'm not even gonna try to count them out. I'm just gonna pick them up and put them where they go. So it's after this. It's in this area. So here. Rude. It escaped. But I had a ton of fun at the book signing this weekend. I got about 40 books, but some of them had more than one story in them, so more than 40. And I got fantasy, a signed copy of a book. She was very excited. Okay, so regular. Ooh, now we get a fishy. Let's make sure we have a fishy going the right direction. Oh, I didn't realize there were different colored fishies. Good thing I picked up the right color one as well. Another orange koi. We want it going this way this time. Okay. Now, short one. I like that you can like see through to the green, and it kind of gives it more dimension. You know, than if you try to do it all kind of like just blue. Come on, little piece. Okay, there's just that piece left in there, so I'll just stick it there. Let's see. Then we have this. Carmine escaped. I might have said that already. I'm gonna fold the book and keep it next to me here so that I can figure out. Okay. Oh, it's just down low. So I saw, and I don't know if it's really true, you know, they can edit videos to make it look like anything. But it was a video where like they were showing like the shape of guys' heads. It was all guys in the video, no girls. That's not to say it can't happen to girls, but there just were none in the video. Where guys' heads were being like they were misshapen, and it was because of like wearing headphones all the time. So they were having like a dip and then like kind of back up, which suggests to me that the headphones are too tight. And why would you want kind of ones that are constantly pressing like that? But like I said, they can edit the videos to look like anything. But I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, I could see it really happening. Whether it really is or not, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it's completely out of the realm of possibility. No droppy droppies. Okay, so we've done this. Let's see if we can bring it closer. Oh, let me turn off so we don't get a glitch. Oh, but then it's hard to see it. There we go. Get you back in line. We've done this kind of waterway. There are a couple more blocks in here with fish painted on them. So, and there's a ton more blue translucent pieces. So, the next 2 pages are more. So, let's see. Figure out where. Okay. Right there seems like a good place. This. Down. Then out. And like that. Have you guys seen the gift with purchase Pegasus? It's kind of like the unicorn one, but I don't think it's a 3-in-1. And then on the first, more Harry Potter sets come out. So there's like a ton of gift with purchases for that. So I know what I'll be doing on the first. I was planning on getting the Nightmare Before Christmas set, but plans may have to change because I can't pass up free Harry Potter gift with purchases. Supposed to be another Burrows set coming out, which I have a Burrows set, and I'm not sure how it's really different, but an orange fishy. Another orange fishy. Oh, now it's time for emotes. There we go. Sorry, my brain is like, huh? What? So what did my type of grocery store say about me? Was that a thing? How do these emotes make you feel? Okay. Oh, he's so cute. It's a dancing Kirby. Boy Wonder loves Kirby. He's got some kind of Kirby game. I don't know which one. I know there's a ton of them, but he's got some kind of Kirby game that he likes. We are... Okay, it's somebody dancing, but I can't tell. I wish you could, like, click on them and make them bigger sometimes. Oh, there we go. That's better. Is she supposed to be dancing? Hip thrusting? Okay. This is what we did now. We ended, like here. And so we've done over here with some more koi fishies. Still being able to see through to that brown and green. I don't know about that last one. It's like, what? I like the first two. I don't dislike the third one, but I'm like, I'm not sure. Last page of like this very top down, so that we can place all these little breaks. There we go. Words. Okay, so that's where this goes. Okay, so even with that, goes down 1, 2, 3 to the flower. Tune in next time for more fun emotes. I know my emotes aren't very exciting. I mean, I have the flaming trash can and some other ones. What do I have? I don't even know anymore. Kevin! Welcome in, Kevin! Thank you for the worky lurky. I have like the flaming dumpster and the ooh woo. And then the sparkles and the dancing spicy pepper. But overall, my emotes are not the most exciting emotes ever. A word Quagsmire appears. Catch it with Pokecatch. I will attempt to catch it, but no promises. Because it's been like a 1 to 5 or so. But welcome in, Kevin. I hope that your weekend went well. Get on. Apparently it's flat. It does, like, to me, it doesn't feel like it, but apparently it's where it needs to be. No one caught it rigged. I think I'm gonna change it to that when it says escaped, it's gonna go rigged. Then nobody will have to type it. Because I feel like it's rigged more often than it's not. Okay. Now we're on the last couple pieces in this row. 1, 2, 3. So the kids have off on the 2nd because it's something. President's Day, I don't know, some kind of holiday. But on the 3rd, there is a Nothing More concert, and the kids love Nothing More. So I'm probably going to buy them tickets. It's your birthday on Labor Day. Well, I say happy birthday now and probably 6 more times before that. But I need to find like something, like whether it just scream happy birthday or like throw confetti or something. I don't know. I need to find something to do for birthdays. But the problem is I get off stream and then I get busy doing other things or watching someone else, and then I don't do the things that I talk about needing to do in the stream. After pushing all these in, my fingers are like, no. Yeah, I like, whether it's like switching the laundry or doing dishes or picking up a kid or starting dinner, or like I said, I get distracted by whoever I raided into. And then I'm like, oh, and then the next time I get on, I'm like, oh, I said I needed to do that. I've said I needed to do that for the last 10 times. It's still not going to get done. Okay, so we made little like lily pad type. I'm trying to get it to focus up. If you can see kind of like that center. Yes, that's the right one. And then I think these are going to be our little extra pieces. Yep. So it says in a little factoid thingy, pond shapes usually represent kanji, a system of Japanese writing that carry significant meanings such as kokoora or heart. The struggle is real. Like when I get off today, I'll have to get in the pickup line for fantasy. Because, I mean, it's cooler today. They only want it in the mid 80s today. But it's still super muggy. I don't know what the... Let me see if I can figure out what the temp is like now. Okay, so it says it's 82, which you're like, ooh, 82, that's not bad. But it's a real feel of like 93. So, and the air quality is poor because of like pollen and stuff. And she's got, I don't even want to say seasonal because the season is always, because things don't die around here, because it doesn't get cold enough for things to hibernate. And it's just so muggy. So I will pick her up so she does not have to walk home, even though it isn't very far, but it's still crazy here. I don't want to use that bucket. I keep wanting to grab the little one and throw the things in, but then I'll just get them all mixed up and confuse myself. But I'll get her and then I'll come home and then I'll help him try to get, because he's got a lot of assignments tomorrow. He only has one class, but a lot of assignments. So I will probably try to help him get 1 or 2 more assignments done, and then I'll start dinner, and then so I'll forget all about the fact that I want to look for a birthday thing. And I did kind of look when it was around my birthday, but I didn't find what I was looking for. And again, it may be that I'm not like searching correctly. Like sometimes you gotta put in just the right thing or just the right way to get it to bring up like what you're looking for. So we'll see. Eventually I'll get it together. So that when people say birthday, it'll be like, ah, and throw confetti in the air. Hey, if I go to, let me seed it real quick. Bum-de-doo-doos. If I go to creator dashboard and then stream manager, well, actually alerts is what I want. Create alert box, visual, not a follow, go away, not a follow, not a cheering, a hype train, or goal. It's doing something. I'm like, no, don't go there. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. I was trying to find... I don't want it for follows. But anyway, that's image library. Ooh, I found some cool ones. They're like little ghosts and stuff. When it's trick-or-treating, it's like candy falling from the sky. Pets, I love pets. I was trying to see. Let's It's an anonymous gift. Sub gift, large community gift, multi-sub. Oh, there's one for unconditional love. There's like one for birthday. Come on. Nope. I was like, maybe, you know. Nope. Poop. I thought maybe on the off chance they may have one like built in. They did not. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe like I guess what I'm thinking is like confetti, you know, like throwing up party like paper, confetti, whatever. And like then it yells happy birthday. But I have yet to find something like that. Maybe I'll have to play around. Yeah, like maybe I'll just have to play around and like make my own version of it and then upload it. But that's what I was thinking, something like that, where they just lay out like happy birthday and like confetti or balloons or something like flows up through the screen, you know? I don't play Halo, so I have no idea. Like I've never played Halo. So I have no idea about like any of the effects in game, I guess you'd call it. Is maybe the proper way to say it. I mean, somebody's a, you know, birthdays are a common thing, especially when you get like a group of people together. So I want to have something, you know, to do like a celebration. Woohoo! Woohoo! We loves you. Yeah, I've never played it, but that's funny. I guess this is gonna be like the stilted house, like that part, or at least the beginnings of it. Oh, let me double check when his next class was. I closed the tab by accident when I was getting stuff ready for my stream. Okay, he should be in it and almost done. Oh, ads. I was gonna say raids, but no, that's not the right word. Ads starts. Yeah, we must be building like at the part where we're kind of helping build up this stilty land. Okay. So this. Bloodseya. Welcome in and thank you for the raid, guys. We're in ads, so I'm sorry about that. I can't control that part. But thank you so much for the raid. And I just heard stream meters too. I don't want to do that while we're in ads. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, thank you thank you so much for the raid. Let me thank you so much for the raid. You do what you have to do. Thanks for bringing your community to me. You have, I hope you had a great stream as well. I can spell. Arduino. I don't know if I have that. Pokey. Maybe I do. Pokey catch great ball. Let me give them a shout out for the raid. Shout out. There we go. Says Katie AK Wetsaya is a 34-year-old cat mom who's all about chill vibes and gaming. Despite MS and ADHD challenges, they love gaming, or they love playing DBD and SR with a side of Stream Raiders. Ooh, I love Stream Raiders. No recent broadcast, no problems. Drop by for a cozy chat or join the cat crew for some fun. Ooh, we love kitty cats. Say hi, and you might just become their next gaming buddy. I will give them a follow so I see the next time they're on. Welcome back, and thank you, Bloodsaya. I don't know if I'm saying that right. For the raid, and I understand if you've worked the raid and run, I have to sometimes too. Thank you for the others who came in with the raid. If you stick around, if not, I completely understand. We do play Stream Raiders here, and it went off, but I didn't want to do it like during the ads, so we will do that right now. If I press the right things to get it to come up. If you guys like to play Stream Raiders, yay. If not, that's cool too. We don't force people to do things here. I am a Lego builder. I also do like Diamond Dots and video games, but like no really fighting video games. I'm not very good at them. So we do like a lot of puzzle games. I did have dungeons on the docket for today, but I didn't want us to lose our place in the dungeons, so I haven't started going back into the dungeons yet, but if we have enough people, I will totally go back in the dungeons. Beer Bear! Look at you, most assists and most kills. Ooh, I got stuffy stuffs. What is this? A Zeppelin Balloon Buster skin. Oh, I love that. Because the Balloon Buster thing I got now is not looking great. In fact, I'm not even sure I have a skin. I didn't like the plasma one. So I think it just looked like balloons. Yeah, it just looked like balloons. I like that better. And I think I'm waiting to up people in my army. Like, yeah, saving up money. Okay. So, if you choose to say, thank you so much. We're pretty cozy and relaxed in here. It can get a little crazy sometimes, but in that everywhere. But But feel free to tell me about yourself, what you enjoy. Jump in chat and just let us know about yourself. Okay, I need to set out necromancers. Where are you? You're a spy. Okay, where is it? Flag, gladiator, shinobi, fairy, healer. Ah, there it is. We'll set it back here a little bit to give us a little space so we don't get immediately attacked. And we'll do that. And thanks for helping out. And then we'll go back to our two screen. Today we are doing half. I try to split it like half one day, half the next. Or half one stream, half the next stream. Sometimes more because some of the sets are much bigger. But we're doing the Tranquil Garden set today, which is pretty cool. We have little fishies in the water area and lily pads. There's like this careful definition between too far away and too close, where you can't really see it. And we've built this little house part earlier, which will like go on top up here. Okay. But yes, for those of you who rated in, please feel free to tell us about yourself, what you like. If this is not your scene, I completely understand. Not everywhere is everyone's scene. How boring would that be if everyone liked everything? Right? A little difference of opinion and taste are good. This set is going together rather fast, so we will probably have time left over and either do like Diamond Dots or maybe play a little Dreamlight Valley. Or we haven't played Strange Horticulture in a bit. We can play that too. I don't know if you guys really like watching that game or not, but we're trying. This is only the second day we've had this new camera angle, and I did look at my setup to see if I could put the camera, because right now it's on the side of my desk and it comes up and over and down, like looking down. So I did look to see if I could put it on like the front of my desk and it be down, so you get like a different perspective. But my monitors are already like up as high on the pole as they can go comfortably. Like I worry about getting any closer to the top. So not really. And I don't want to have my monitors like off to the side of me, if that makes sense. So I think this is it. But also leaving it this way does give me and I could turn it this way and you guys would still probably see how you don't really get all of it though, but this way you do. So that's why I've kind of left it that way. But it does allow me to pull it back and do an angle as certain things get taller, like bigger sets, taller sets. So maybe it's not a totally bad thing that I can't put it that way.
What you doing?
What you doing? Nothing. Trying to make sure I don't mess this up. That's what I'm doing. It's bound to happen though. Put a piece in the wrong place. Okay, I think this one was just an extra, which it is a common piece to have extra. The little slanty pieces. So we're on our last bag for today. Because that's bag 6, and then I think I'll have 5 left for Thursday. Yep. So, you guys can think about what you'd like me to do. There's many video games to choose from. Or Diamond Dots, or, you know. I don't know what else. But this set went together pretty fast. Which I guess, not too crazy. Oh, what do we got? Beer Bear's got Hydrate, Snickety Snacks. I have some Kit Kat Thins left, or I have Reese Thins for Snickety Snackety time, Beer Bear. You can choose. Let me finish getting the pieces out for this step so I don't confuse myself. And Reese, okay, and then I will do the brick text. I need to change that from like nerd joke to maybe like dad joke or just joke. I don't know. Let's see. Dad jokes. What do you call a sheep who can sing and dance? Lady Baba. That's a good one, right? Lady Baba. Yeah, we'll put you on the tour. I thought that was a good one. I thought you would appreciate that one since you're the one who redeemed it. Now we got our Hydrate. For anyone interested, I don't think many people are, but for anyone interested, the silicone straws in the can, it doesn't make the soda fizz up and try to go out. The metal straws do that. It like makes it, they react to each other and makes it like fizz, 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 fizz. And it almost starts to come out the can. Sometimes it does start to come out the can. But silicone straws do not do that. It's you. Yeah, and ooh. So, years ago at a book signing I was at, there was a male author, and he had stickers that said, fuck ooh, and it had a female sheep on there. Okay, I did that with the 2 black on there. So now we're starting on another like set of, oh, we did this step. Okay, there's that one. So this step, I guess I'm going to do 2. Not I guess I'm going to do. I am going to do. Because there's only 1 piece per step, and I hate doing just 1 piece for you guys. So that is this brick text. And then I'm going to set that back in there because I'm afraid to lose it. You know, by accident. Pick it up and then it falls out. So, you want to do diamond dots. Do you want me to do it now or when I finish this bag? The diamond dots. Either way is fine with me, but I'm not sure what you want. Either way, I'm going to do this step while you let me know. this. So this now works. Okay, let me do this step because I got the pieces out. Okay, there we go. And I will move that to the side, and I will move this out here. Yeah, well, she's been, I don't know where she is now, but she had like a full case of the zoomies. Like, she ran past me up into the living room, immediately jumped on the couch, jumped on the back of the couch, like ran all the way down, all the way back, like she was all over the place, like really fast. And I was like, okay, apparently somebody's got something to work out of their system. Okay, I'm gonna start with 6 because I think that's where I am. If I run into any 5s or anything. The exercise is over. Did it go well? I hope it went well, and you weren't like, oh my god, a fatal flaw in the plans. Oh, I just found some 5s. Oh well. Like 2 5s, that's right. It did not go well. That's sad. I mean, I know, I guess I know that the point is to like have like the most random things happen so that you can make sure you're prepared, because while they might seem like ridiculous and crazy, they are not impossible to happen, you know? But at the same time, like, I'm sorry that it didn't go well. Right? Like, I'm not the person to ask. I am the one who makes sure your plan is acceptable. Like, that's not for me to say. Like, I don't know what's going on in your county. Does it seem like you should declare? And even so, you don't do that with me. No. So we have a nuclear reactor near us, and they do an exercise like once a year or so to make sure all the surrounding counties have a plan in case something happens with it. It's called like Nuclear One or something like that. It's definitely not a secret. You can probably look it up on the internet. But yeah, they have an exercise. I want to say once a year, but I could be wrong. It could be less. To make sure that everybody knows what to do in case, you know, something happens. That's pretty cool. But listening to him talk about like communicating and with these different counties and then reading the plans, there's some. I don't have great faith. Let's put it that way. Well, during an emergency, I work as an event manager, so they would be talking to me about declaring and right, but like they wouldn't be like telling you, I guess, like, is it okay I declare, or like More like they would go, we declared, now what do we do? You know, like what resources can we get? But not so much asking you. Yeah. So yeah, I want to say it's called like Nuclear One, but yeah. So they have the exercise, but he's been reading and reviewing plans because I mean that is pretty much his whole job, but like more lately because it's the time of year where they have to make sure they're in the order, you know. And it's like half these people get jobs because of who they know, which is okay. Don't get me wrong. Like that's how a lot of lawyers and doctors and whatnot get their job. They know somebody who works in that thing and they do it. But these are people who don't necessarily have any education in emergency management. Yeah, like nepotism isn't a bad thing as long as you're good at your job. Like everybody needs a foot in the door. But when you're not qualified for the job at all, or you don't really know how to do it at all, that's not good. Yeah, it would be nepotism then. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't begrudge anybody a foot in the door. If you're educated on what the job entails and you're good at it, then a foot in the door isn't a bad thing. I cleaned up an entire county of water, wastewater design, and data. See, to me, that's really interesting, like how you use the program to make that happen. But I couldn't take the pace, the politics, the nepotism, my boss not working. Yeah, that's the bad. I got passed up a promotion. They had other incompetent people instead, and so I quit. Yeah, like I said, a foot in the door is different than like you never having done the job and now you become the top guy in charge of everybody. But like a foot in the door at like basic level, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Because if you've gone to school or you're educated, some things don't require you to go to school. But you know what I mean? Like you know what that job entails and you can do it. A foot in the door at a base level is not a bad deal. Like somebody telling you how to fill out the forms, you know what I mean, to make you a more desirable candidate, whatever. But like, I don't think you should be getting promotions when you have no idea what you're doing. Not long after Crazy started at this job, the secretary to the boss or one of the bosses quit, and they were like, "Do you think your wife could do it?" Like, I could do it, but I run around with kids all day. I had a college degree. It was my second job after 3 years defense job contract ended. I actually was only at the county at 2 years, if I remember right now. Literally couldn't take. Yeah, he sees some of the dumbest things, and I'm like, really? Like it's bad. Like I said, I don't mind a foot in the door if you actually know what you're doing, but giving somebody a job that has no idea what the job entails, no training in the job, unless it's like a job where you can get like construction. You start at base level, you can learn on the job to some degree. But there are some things you can't do that on. Oh my god, nope. Listen, I hope you catch something. But yes, a foot in the door is definitely different than nepotism. Like somebody hiring their cousin because they have the position to hire them, but their cousin doesn't know anything about it. That's not good. It is damn hard to get fired from a government job, but somebody at Crazy's work did. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of it is crazy. So they try to get him, like, when he started working there, he was like, I don't want to be a boss. You know, like, he's like, I did that in the military. I don't like being in charge, you know? but at the same time, he has like he will help out anywhere to make sure the job gets done. So then they look at him as boss material, and now they're like, you should do this and you should do this. Which going to all these classes is great because he learns more and more and more about different types of disaster relief and things like that, which is all things he likes. But then they're like, oh well, you should do this job and be a boss. He's like, I don't want to be a boss. I do not want to be anybody's boss. They tried to clean out the rainwater storm drains and save the environment. And we are water and sewer. You can't trespass and modify the set. Yeah, you can't be doing stuff like that. The last two planners were gone in under 4 months, one because he couldn't handle the workload, and the other because he was using his position to hook up with girls. Yeah. His wife found all kinds of interesting texts on his work government phone. I guess he figured his wife wouldn't ever look at that phone. But that is surefire is a fast way to get fired from a government job. But yeah, they're like, do you think your wife could come in and be the secretary? I was like, listen, I keep an entire household running, and I've done other jobs similar, like key spouse and stuff in the military. But I was like, listen, I can't come in until after the kids go to school, and I have to leave to go home and get them from school. And then Boy Wonder is not really leaving the house for school now anyway, so that wouldn't have lasted very long. But like, yes and no. I will take the paycheck, but I can only work part-time. But they were not interested in that. And I understand because they'd have to modify the job, like the listing they put out for the job and whatnot. And I understand that they need like a full-time person in there. I am in no way upset that I don't have or that I don't work there. I certainly wouldn't allow a lot of the crap to happen that happens. Maybe like, I don't think you realize how much I can get done in half the time, but I understand you need a full-time person. Stick to the pen. Well, yeah, like, he can't file like certain things. Like, just when you're in the military, you can't do certain things because technically you are an agent of that, and so you cannot ask for things. But he was like, I see stuff, and I'm like, and he's like, you can do it because technically you're a civilian. So, like, stuff that's like public record, like, you can look up what any state government employee makes. For Arkansas, they have like 100% transparency. So you can get on the website and look up anybody's name and see how much they make a year. Right? And then in other places, it's, what do they call it? Like, public is allowed to know like what the county is spending their money on and things like that. And they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, but they were getting like all kinds of, they were basically pocketing the money, paying themselves the extra. He's like, you can go ask. You can file the paperwork to ask. And it's full-time only because you're required to work at the EOC when activated. Yeah. Right, and I said I'm not upset that I like couldn't do it, but it's like if you need somebody to help in a pinch, I can work for a little bit, but right. Oh yeah, there's always a bunch of stupid shit going around. And they figure, well, nobody knows. Nobody knows until somebody says something. Like nobody knows until somebody gets in there and goes, "You guys are doing a whole bunch of hickey shit," and they become a whistleblower, and they're like, "Nah, this is not fair." Because truthfully, you pay taxes and all that. So when you work at those places, you should care how the tax money is being spent. You know what I mean? But they don't care. Yeah, Freedom of Information Act. You're allowed to know how your county is spending the money. So, like a couple weeks after we moved into our house, we had a really bad storm go through. We lost power for like 4 days. All kinds of stuff. The county is supposed to have a contract with the local waste management, and they come by and they pick up all the storm debris, so like tree limbs, things like that. You're supposed to be able to put it all the way out near the edge of your property where the street is, and they're supposed to come through and pick it up. A year later, they finally came through and picked stuff up. And they got money from the government for the storm cleanup and whatnot, but I don't know what the hell they did with it. It certainly wasn't clean up the storm. Right. So what they did was they just didn't have the contract, I don't think, or they didn't call the company and say, "Hey, we need to enact that part of our contract." They just, whatever. They just didn't do anything. Okay, that's the 15 minutes on that. We are slowly getting there. Every time I. Right? Like, it's not like it's. Hi, War Gaming! Welcome in! We are working on the. Oh, now it's got to refocus. There we go. We're working on the Tranquil Garden set. We are on our last bag for today because I tried to split it half and half. Okay, I did this step. Turn the page. But yeah, it isn't like it doesn't get cold here. I mean, we had a cold snap last year, but that was like maybe a week. Yeah, they just didn't dispatch the cleanup crew. So I don't know what they did with the money they were given to use to pay the cleanup crew, because it certainly wasn't cleaning up. But yeah, it's all kinds of stuff like that that we are learning as he does this job. And I personally love being a thorn in someone's backside, so why not? Ooh, you caught an entai. That's very nice. I don't know what my best one on is in there. I have it set up where we can do the like it's a redeem, you can battle the thing, but it's a horrible slow death that is committed every time somebody redeems that and I play with them, because I have no idea what Pokemon is set up in there to make it good. I just pick whatever. Yeah, I'm terrible at the game. Like, I have Pokemon cards and I'm good at that, but like this in the chat, I'm horrible at, because I'm like, I don't know. from what I catch to put in. And mostly I think it's that I don't really know which stats to look at best. You know, because they're like, best base, best this, that. And so I don't know. I just pick ones I like. Okay, let's do Steam Radar. I said start. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it's like things like suspect that are happening, but like then you get a job and you're like, no, it's definitely happening. Like he was given a plan to review and like, you know, make suggestions on. Here we're cleaning up today. And when he opened it, because they give him a template that they can use, and they filled out like the first page where it says like who does what and what, and then there was nothing else in the plan. Like literally, it still said paste here, and that's what they turned in. It was like, what are you guys smoking over there? I guess we'll start here. Yeah, the plan was no plan. And as a place that frequently gets tornadoes and possible flooding and etc., no plan for the plan is not a good choice. Like, you gotta have a plan, even if it's a bad plan. It's a plan. At least a bad plan can be modified and fixed. No plan is not great. I know there's supposed to be two of them. There's the other one. Yeah, that makes sense. Another plan they were given, he opened it, went over it, made notes, sent feedback, then they went to meet the person, and she was like, oh, do you have the new one? And they're like, new one what? And she's like, the new plan. So even though they sent her back the revised plan or the plan with like comments on things they think could make it better or whatever, she didn't open the email. She had a whole new plan separate from the one they were sent, like the one that was in the system. Like, you knew this meeting was coming up? Did you not think maybe that was something you should check on? Like, so the whole meeting was pointless because she didn't bother to open an email. This message is not what it looks like. What is it then? Danny, what is it if it's not what it looks like? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Listen, I have children at home that follow direction better than you people. I can't. I just can't. I used to tell his airmen all the time that they were lucky I was not their boss. Psychological warfare. Every once in a while, he would get an airman who, you know, he was young and feisty. And he'd think he was funny and he would say jokes, but he was not prepared. that I always have a comeback. There is very little. If I don't say anything, it's not because I don't have a comeback. It's because I don't want to deal with the aftermath of what would happen when I say the comeback. And he said something, and I just came back and I said it, and he was like, "You can't talk to me like that." And I was like, "Why can't I?" And he's like, "Cause you can't." And I was like, I think I can because I just did." He's like, but you could get in trouble. No, I can't. I'm not military. Your chain of command can't do anything to me. I'm like, boy, when you're around me, you better be prepared for whatever you say to have a response. And if you can't handle the response, learn to shut up. He's like, you're not gonna let her say that to me. And Crazy would be like, nah, this is not something I'm getting involved in. You started it with her. You should let her finish it before she hurts your feelings. Yeah, I'm a joy. Listen, it's not my fault that he was not equipped to know my whole personality when he told me that. I have no filter. Or I have the very thinnest of filters. And what it does filter is not so much that I shouldn't say it, it's I don't want to deal with the fallout. It's clearly self-preservation because I probably won't care what I said or how it made the other person feel, which I know is not the nicest thing, but it is how I am. And then they'll get upset, and then I'm supposed to care that they're upset. And I just don't. So that is the only reason I don't say some things. I am literally that friend that you warn other friends about, or that is often told, be nice. But I am nice. I'm nice all the time. Yeah, you also can't put me on speakerphone. Not if there's other people that can hear me. Okay, I do have 4. And I've had people ask me, like, if you know these things about yourself, why don't you try to change them? Because I don't have a problem with those aspects of myself. I don't have a problem with those parts of myself. I just acknowledge that they exist. You can put me on speakerphone, but you really shouldn't have anybody else around when you do it. I didn't know you could do that. Lazy enough to click the button. I like it. Okay, I gotta turn this just a smidgen so I make sure I'm putting these pieces in the right places. Yeah. I figure it's good to know certain things about yourself. That doesn't mean you have to change them. Just acknowledge that that is a personality trait. I appreciate that if they made it that easy to apply, literally 2 to 3 inputs, 1 click, they must need somebody. Right? Like, you never know. Sometimes just randomly applying, they might come back with very similar to what you're currently doing, but for more money. And who doesn't love more money? Like, the way the economy is, everybody could use a little more money. Okay. Three-second lag is better than 20-second. I imagine that's true. So sometimes, more often than not, I'll have somebody on watching them, and fantasy will have the same person, and I will have like the whole conversation on my end, and then like when it finally finishes, it'll start on her. So I don't. She's got some weird lag. Oh yeah, I believe it. Yep, I totally believe it. We spend an arm and a leg on groceries as well. I do my best to mitigate the grocery bill by like finding sales or that's not in the right spot. Or like finding like instead of buying lunch meat ham, I wait till a holiday happens and I buy like 1 or 2 whole hams. And sometimes I cook them and sometimes I don't, because a lot of times hams are already cooked when you buy them at the grocery store. You're just kind of reheating them. But either way, I then put them in the deep freeze, and when I need them, I pull them out, defrost them, and then cut them up, and the kids have lunch meat ham. They like that kind of ham better anyway than like deli and they will not eat like like Kraft sliced cheese or like the Oscar Mayer sliced meat back in the section. They want like deli meat. Oh, I do. He'll be 14 on the 14th of next month, and then she'll be 16 in January. But in fairness, my almost 14-year-old is the size of a 10-year-old. But he still eats and eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. But in fairness, everybody in our house kind of eats. Once they started school, it became kind of hard for them because they ate like 5 small meals a day. They grazed over the whole day. And when they went to school and it was like you could only eat at certain times, that was hard. But they've gotten used to it as they've gone through the grades. But definitely, you'll find him with snacks at his desk all the time. But yeah, once he hits that growth spurt where he really takes off, it's gonna be even worse. But I do my best to mitigate. Like, I found the like granola, I guess you'd call them. It's a company called Made Good. I joke that there's nothing in them. Their whole plant where they make the food, like where they make their products, is allergy. Like, everything's allergy safe. There's no eggs. There's no shellfish. There's no soy. There's no wheat. There's no gluten. There's no dairy. There's no any. They have like a thing on the back of their box. It's like 9 different things. No peanuts. Whatever allergy friendly things. But their whole plant is like that. They don't make anything that contains those products in the plant at all. But I found them on sale on Amazon. More for cheaper. So I do my best to mitigate with things like that, or like when something's on sale, I buy it, or I buy more so that you're really saving money. You know what I mean? Like, if you bought 10 individual single pounds of meat, you would spend more than if I buy the 10-pound log and cut it up myself. So I do my best to mitigate and make it a little cheaper with coupons and Ibotta and all kinds of stuff, but it's still just freaking expensive. There are certain things you just cannot get around. It is expensive. Yeah, we have Sam's Club. Yeah, price per ounce. I mean, I do my best, like I said, to mitigate. I use coupons. I use Ibotta, which is kind of like digital coupons. You have the app or the website, and you add the coupons to your account. And then when you go shopping, you scan your receipt, and they give you that money back on the app. And once you get past $20, you can deposit any amount into your bank account or get a gift card. Like over the weekend, I was like, okay, I deposited $50 from that app into the thing. So, all those little pennies, they add up in places. And like Kroger will send us coupons like once a month based on what you buy using your Savers card, which I don't care. They're like, people are like, oh, they're spying on you. Yeah, and I'm getting coupons. I don't care. Like, what are they keeping track of? What I buy? Okay. If they're going to give me coupons to discount, then yeah. Well, depending on where you live, it's like Kroger's or Baker's or Dillon's. And I think there's one other company in their group. But they're all really the same company. But yeah, depending on where you live, they don't have them. When we were in Nebraska, they were Baker's. And when we lived in Virginia, I don't think there was any version of them. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I do my best to mitigate and use coupons and things like that. But some stuff is just stupid expensive. Like, there's only so much you can do. Whole Foods, Hannaford's, and some places Stop and Go, and some places Big Y places. When we lived in Virginia, it was Wegmans. I love Wegmans. The first time we walked in a Wegmans, Crazy was like, what the hell? And I was like, yeah, welcome to the North. We like our grocery stores giant. Yeah, that's what it's a pain. And I think not too long before we left Virginia, Amazon opened a grocery store, which I shopped at a couple times purely because I wanted to shop at an Amazon grocery store. Yeah, because they're just ginormous. I love Wegmans. And truth be told, they're not a crazily priced grocery store. There are definitely places that cost more. Are they the cheapest? No, but they're not also all the way at the other end of the spectrum. They're not a bad price grocery store. They do lots of sales, and it is what it is. But yeah, I love Wegmans. He was like, I can't even see the other end of this grocery store. I was like, I know, it's fantastic. Okay, let's see if I can figure out where I'm at. Okay, right underneath. Turn it this way for you guys. And around here, Wegmans is one of the higher priced places. I wonder if they change prices based on the area I'm. I wouldn't doubt it, because I feel like at this point, almost everything does. Like, even things like McDonald's and stuff, I want to say they change the prices based on where you are. Kroger, Dillon's, and Baker's are all under the same parent company. I found out because they sell Kroger tea. Yeah, Amazon bought Whole Foods, and Whole Foods has always been crazy priced. They charge that, or they get away with it because we sell organic. And the type of people who are willing to shop there don't care. So we found a couple stores. We have found a couple stores that are the same concept as Whole Foods, but much cheaper, and I almost think better quality. Yeah, certain things, but like overall, they're just crazily priced. There's a store called Fresh Time when we lived in Omaha that we really liked, and it was similar to Whole Foods in like what they sold, but much better priced. And then when we lived in North Dakota, and I want to say maybe it was Virginia or maybe it was just North Dakota, one called Natural Grocers. Again, still more than a regular grocery store, but much cheaper than Whole Foods, and they sold the same kind of products. But frankly, because we started doing gluten-free dairy, like dairy-free when she was a year old, but gluten-free from the time she was 4 on. So like the last dozen years, which seems so long, like she should not be that old now. They have come out with significantly more gluten-free options or just allergy-friendly options that don't necessarily break the bank overall. Like, So it used to be much worse, and then like Whole Foods was like your only option, and you had to spend an arm and a leg. Like, I'm going to have to donate the child I'm buying this food for just to pay for it. So I learned how to make a lot of the stuff myself at home because I was like, listen, we just can't afford this. I learned that some products are gluten-free that don't say they're gluten-free, but they don't have gluten in it. And yeah, like, they're gluten-free because gluten isn't, like, eggs are gluten-free, but because there's not wheat in eggs. A lot of the times, it's not so much that the item itself is gluten-free, it's that it's not made somewhere where it can have cross-contamination. Because some people are so allergic to gluten that, like, it's like the really bad peanut allergies. Like, even just the mere presence of it makes them sick. Some people not so much. We've learned that she technically, I don't know, they think she had celiacs at one point, because a lot of the symptoms that she had, but she had already been sedated so many times that they're like, we're just, they don't give you medicine for celiacs. You just don't eat gluten. So they're like, we'll just go with that. She just doesn't eat gluten. And I was like, well, okay, I can do that. I am oh no, it just looked like a 3. So we just went with that. But some people are really bad, and we learned from somebody else who had a gluten allergy. Did you know that IHOP puts pancake batter in their eggs to make like their omelets? Welcome in, RC Spaceport. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, guys. I think we're getting ready to go into ads in like 30-ish seconds. So I'm sorry. This is the second time today this has happened. Last person rated it in the middle of ads. But thank you so much. Welcome in, RC Spaceport and Becca Bubbles. More. Let me give you a shout out. If my fingers will work. Okay, Wargaming, have a great day. Thank you for popping in with our wonderful food talk. Okay, did I get all the pieces? Yes, because I put those 2 on already. Welcome in, guys. I am Book Loving Builder. I build Lego, but I also do Stream Raiders and Diamond Dots and kind of all different crafts. And I play video games. Now I'm confusing myself with how many pieces I had out. Feel free, anybody who came in with the raid, feel free to tell me about yourself, if you stream, if you just like to hang out. If I am not your cup of tea or this is not your cup of tea, I totally understand. I feel the same way sometimes. But don't hesitate to tell me about yourself. Welcome in, everyone. We have, if you like Stream Raiders, we have about 6 minutes left till it's done. And it looks like we'll do some raids because we have a bunch of people in this time. I didn't want us to lose our place in the dungeon, so I'd been holding off on dungeon runs. But welcome in, RC Spaceport, and if you have to raid and run, I totally understand. Real life always comes first. But what were you building today? What were you working on? We were talking about the cost of groceries and that they're ridiculously high. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, it didn't want 4, it wanted 8. Welcome in, more. Okay, yes, now I think I have all the pieces. Welcome in, Carrot. I don't know why your thing is so low all of a sudden. I looked at it and the volume is turned all the way up. Or maybe it's just my headphones are low and I think it's low. Maybe it's not as low as I think it is. But we are at this point, and we also have this little housey thing we built earlier that will eventually go somewhere on here. But welcome in, Carrot. Bricker build thermal detonator and Lego GWP. Ooh, I'm not sure what that build is, but that sounds fun. What was your gift with purchase? I use my gift with purchases as community builds. Or I have a little 3-in-1 house behind me. When they give you those little poly bags and they'll say like pirate themed or Christmas or winter themed or Chinese New Year, I use that bag to decorate the little house. That's specifically what I bought and built the house for. Heard about tea? It's because you're always lurking. The Star Wars droid trooper carrier. Oh, I know you love Star Wars. That must have been really fun. Sometimes the gift with purchases are really good. Starting September 1st, they're supposed to have a bunch of really good Harry Potter ones, which I, of course, am going to have to buy things to partake in. Oh, Kevin, I'm sure you're not really missing out on anything. I'm trying to figure out where you saw tea. Because sometimes tea just means gossip. Now, I think that's the slang for it. It's gossip. Or gossip-like. Not always lurking. True, you're not always lurking. You do play. I just like teasing you. I pre-cut all my cheese yesterday. I cut a block of cheese in half lengthwise, and then I cut it into things so I can just go in the fridge and get it out and eat it. I buy the blocks of pepper jack cheese and make Crazy his own cheese sticks. Then he just takes them to lunch with him. In fact, I have a block of cheese in the fridge I have to cut up for him. Yeah, because Okay, when you go to the more food talk. When you go to the store and you look at like the cheese section with like the cheese sticks and like the mozzarella pool sticks, for some reason when they're like pepper jack or something like that, the price is more. And I don't understand it. It's all cheese, right? Like the block of pepper jack cheese, that's what 8 ounces, does not cost more than the cheddar block of cheese that's 8 ounces. So why does the cheese sticks cost more? So I just buy the cheese sticks and then cut them up myself at home. Sometimes I wrap them in like wax paper or parchment paper so they don't stick to each other, but sometimes I just throw them in the Tupperware and then he can take them out as he wants. But yeah, I just buy the block of cheese and cut it up myself. My attempt to mitigate costs. Because groceries are expensive. We were talking about that. But yes, maybe there are less pepper jack string cows. Maybe. There's not as many spicy cows. Or cows making spicy milk to make spicy cheese. Yes, I think that works. Sometimes you stare at the blocks and you're like, how do I turn this to make this work? I heard Stream Raiders, but we literally have 1 block left, so. And that was our extra piece. Let's do Stream Raiders. We have a ton of people this battle. It's gonna be overkill. 79-9. We have about 20 minutes left, so I wouldn't start a bag anyway. But we can do some Stream Raiders dungeons, a couple minutes, couple of them anyway. You know, pressing that one is not going to work. I have the redeems for coins and scrolls if anybody wants to do any. I have 2 people can get vampire scrolls, 2 people can get gladiator scrolls, and 1 person can get fairy scrolls. If nobody does the redeems, I will... Sorry, I felt like I was gonna burp. I will just randomly hand them out. But I will give you guys a moment. Vampire for crazy, okay? There we go. Okay, let's see. Who else is in chat? I try to give them Beer Bear. Johnny D. 513 plays quite often. Let's do War Gaming. And then we'll do Beer Bear and Johnny. And then we'll give this guy who got most kills. Lindy. And go. And go. So, let's see. Oh, we weren't too far in, but I don't want to be like, keep losing over and over. But that's alright. Okay, let's see. I need necromancers out, so I will put that one out. We'll do this, and we'll do this. And these are going to appear over time, and when they say appear over time, what they really mean is as soon as we press go battle, then they'll come out. Okay, since I only have like 15-ish minutes before I have to go pick up the girl child from we will just work on this coaster some more. I will bring this down a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. I found 2 number 5s when I started doing this earlier, so I will attempt to find them again and fill them in. Oh, that was not what I wanted. No wonder they're spilling out in the bag. It's the way I cut the little bag. Oh well, now I have a mess to clean up. But we will finish this Lego set on Thursday. And then tomorrow is the update for Dreamlight Valley. So Sunday we can play the update with the new Star Path and such. And depending on when we finish on Thursday, maybe we can play a little bit then. So if you play Dreamlight Valley, get excited. If you like the game, get excited. Tomorrow there's supposed to be an update with Tiana. I believe if I think they do it the way I think they're going to, if they do it the way I think they're going to, it'll be like how they introduced Mulan with the Star Path. I believe they're gonna do like the Star Path be like Tiana related. And there's supposed to be a new restaurant with Tiana. Like that's part of her thing. She has her restaurant. So that's exciting because right now it's just Remy. If that is the case, like they open up another biome in the castle, I will wait to do that part till we're streaming. But there is a chance I will play it tomorrow. At some point. Okay, I went in to put more wax. Did I accidentally take all the wax out? Sometimes that happens. You smush in new wax, and instead of getting new wax, it just attaches to your old wax and pulls it all out. Then you have no wax. How was the rest of your stream, Carrot? What game were you playing today? Here's hoping the boss likes my plan. Spent 2 days writing a plan that I was originally given 6 months to complete and had my timeline shortened to 4 days. Nope, that's poop-tacular. Oh, you just finished up the Lego set? Okay. I wasn't sure if you just did like one and then went to play games or... All Lego, so good. I know, I thought about it. I was like, should I just do... like get both of the new plant set out and just do that? Because they're both fairly tiny. But then I was like, oh, I don't know. All the sets I have right now are like, sometimes you have sets and you're like, but I want to do this one before I do that one. But all the ones I currently have are like, yes, I'd like to do them now, all at the same time. So I figured I would just pick this one. It would last the week. They're not the tiny plants. They're I can get them. They're right back here. I mean, they are tiny plants in the fact of piece count, but no, they're the plum blossom and the chrysanthemum set that just came out not that long ago. So I have both of them because they were on sale at the Sam's Club. And if I would have waited to buy them, it would have been $14 more, and that's wasteful. We're trying to save money. I think I've seen like an ad for the Valhalla game, but I don't think I've ever seen. Right, $14 is like 3/4 of the way through another Lego set, a small one, but still a whole nother Lego set. So I had to buy them. I had to save the money. You can do the Viking braid with your hair, Carrot. Braid your hair straight back. Start at the front and braid just straight back. You can't braid hair? It's easy. Braiding your own hair is always harder than braiding somebody else's. But if you do it enough, you just kind of get used to it. I've seen those. Those are cool. Fake fur, a faux fur hoodie. Ugh, my necromancer's exhausted. Rude. I've seen the ones where they like crochet a beard. And I kind of want to try that. Can your fiance braid your hair before she goes to work? That is kind of gross and frowned upon. But no, have you seen the crochet ones where they crochet a beard? I seen one where it was like a winter beanie and then like a beard on the front to keep your face warm. So it was like a face guard and a hat at the same time. That one would be, useful, not just for funds. We donated Boy Wonder's hair one time when he cut a bunch of it off, but we didn't donate it to Locks of Love. There's this other company that collects hair, and they use it for oil spills. They use a like a needle punch machine, but like on a large scale, and it pushes the hair together to make a mat. And then when there's oil spills and stuff, they throw them out because hair absorbs oil way better than other things, and it's natural. Oh, I thought your fiance lived with you since you guys bought the house, or was it you bought the house? I don't know. Not my business. But either way, I thought she lived with you. My bad. I thought she lived with you. 4 months left on our contract. Okay. That's understandable. Then you gotta pack her up and move her. I assumed that she's not gonna do like another one, that she'll just move in. But again, not my business. It's the Caratess. Like a Contessa, but Caratess. I'm going to attempt to say I missed no sixes. I probably did, though. I was long distance if you count that they went deployed. And then there was TDYs and classes and stuff. So I guess I was long distance for a while. The last 4 months of my pregnancy with Fantasy, he was deployed to Afghanistan, I think, or over there in general. And then while I was pregnant with Boy Wonder, he was retraining, so he was home, but also like super busy. And he's done other, when we were in North Dakota, he was in New Jersey helping with, yeah, true. I was doing you all the way in Korea from England. It was spectacular. Matthew as well, all the way in Texas from England. I mean, seriously, if I was going to cheat, why would I pick somebody that far away? That fool didn't know I had options much closer. Yeah, he was helping the refugees in New Jersey. I really like this particular blue. It's like a bluish green. Yeah, I had my hysterectomy while he was gone. Because I finally got them to agree to it. I wasn't going to push it until he got home and then change their mind and say, no, actually, we won't cover that. I just did it. I had the commander's wife drive me to the hospital. I had the surgery, and then I pre-planned it. I ordered pizza to be delivered to the house in case I was gone, if I still wasn't home from the hospital. And we didn't live that far from the kids' school, so they walked home that day. And then I had her come back and pick me up when the surgery was done and take me home. Yeah, which we kind of knew was going to happen because a lot of, like, every place we had lived was considered deployed at home location. So we knew as soon as we got there, they were going to send him somewhere. The question was where. my clicky clicky. Worky worky. Okay, we have a lot of flying people. Yeah, that could be interesting depending on where exactly he winds up. I think we basically have troops everywhere still. Um, it really just depends. And some places it isn't like a base per se, it's more like an outpost. If that makes sense. Yeah, the French Legion does a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, technically Egypt is part of Africa. Like, you know what I mean? Like the upper part. So I mean we do, it just depends on like where you're going. Right. I mean a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't pay attention. They like to comment about stuff, but they don't really pay attention. Okay, apparently there weren't very many sevens. If I can pick it up and make sure. He may not be able to say where either. OPSEC is a big thing. But, I mean, Africa is a big country, but a lot of people don't think about all the countries that are technically part of Africa. So, I mean, you know, it is big, but at the same time, like, there's a lot to it. How did number 4 get way back there? Yeah. Welcome in, Catacane. Yeah, you can talk that you did, but you can't say where. Which, I mean, Crazy did most of his career was what I fondly like to call secret squirrel business. So I totally get that. I don't doubt it. With what's going on there, you know. But yeah, Egypt is technically part of Africa, so I did not dump very many beads out because this only has 2 minutes left on it, and then I will need to get off so that I can prepare to sit in the carpool lane. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like between Israel and whatnot, that's not surprising. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for the raid earlier. Oh, the leaving of the house always sucks. I'll get to leave the house, drive 5 minutes, spend like 40 minutes in a pickup line only so I don't have to spend an hour in the pickup line later if I were to leave the house later. But her drop off this morning was not horrible, but definitely busier than I thought it would be. So I think tomorrow we'll leave maybe 5 minutes earlier. Yep. That's what it is. Okay, the high school is like 5 minutes from our house. I'm not joking. But it is still crazy hot and muggy here. So even to walk like the short distance, it's not really pleasurable. You know, it is not a fun thing. So I sit in the pickup lane for her. But if you don't leave super early, then you spend the rest of your afternoon in the pickup line. So, or at least what feels like the rest of your afternoon. So it's, you know, you gotta pick and choose. Feel free to tell us what you were doing. I do. I take a book with me and I park and I read. I take a book with me and I do read in the car. Yep, that's what I have to do. I have to leave. They get out at 3:15, or she gets out at like 3:15, but I leave the house at 2:40 to sit in line and I read in the car. No, reading, that's not what I do. I got 40 books, but some of them had 2 stories and some of them had 4 and some of them had 21 at the book signing this weekend. So I even got fantasy ones signed to her. It absorbs the knowledge. I know it's through osmosis. I just sleep next to my tablet and it just, you know. Why are these bad? Like good, but then bad. Okay. I am going to have to jump. I'm going to go to the ending screen, but I'm going to look for somebody to raid into. If you guys have a suggestion of who to raid into, please don't hesitate to tell me. Sometimes you guys know people that I don't know. You know. And they're on. I am good at whatever. Or good with whatever, not good at whatever. Words are very hard. Is it my brain is farting. Yeah. I was like, I see all the letters, but what is her name? Okay. Let me get out of that part and go to this part. Back to Twitch. There we go. Okay. Nope, wrong button. Raid. Okay, I was like, did I spell that right? Because there is a significant chance that I, in fact, did not spell that correctly. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. Thank you for Bloodsaya for the follow and the raid, and thank you to RC Spaceport for the raid. Thank you for everybody who hung out and played Stream Raiders, and we'll have a little bit of time left on the dungeons on Thursday if we get enough people. And I have gone back to my during the school year schedule of like 11 to 2:30, which may change after about a month or two, when we get after school clubs and stuff settled, um, and like archery starts back up and things like that, I may be able to go a little bit longer. But overall, probably 11 to 2:30 during the week is going to be my thing. Which I know does not work for everybody, but I'm sorry. But thank you all, everyone who hung out and talked and watched and lurked and loved and all those things. I will be back Thursday at 11, and we will finish the Tranquil Garden. Have a great day, guys. I cannot talk today.